Hey girlfriend, welcome back to the Frizzandfrillzz channel. Today we are going to be talking about some of your questions that you've asked me over on Instagram. I took a Q&A, and so we are going to be getting into that right away. Today we are also going to have a sponsorship from Skillshare, part of the video, but not right now. We'll do that later. If you are new here, make sure that you hit that subscribe button so you never miss any of my curly tutorials, tips, tricks, all of the above. And let's go ahead and get started. First question, I struggle with flat roots. How do I help fix it? This is from Curly Hair with a Curly Flare. Love that name. Actually, it's really funny that you asked this because I did last week a video on how to get better root volume during the styling process. But another way that is not mentioned really much in that video that you can do is you can use a volume spray. Popping one of my favorite ones up here. So good. Love volume sprays. You can just do a little zhuzh zhuzh, especially for days like this, like on day one when I don't have, you don't have that much grab at your root yet and it's just still really moisturized and it just wants to slip all around. That is a great time for you to be able to do that, and that'll help add a little extra root volume. So from E. Michelle Ferris 3, we have how do you push past self-doubt and hurtless. I think she meant to say hurdles in your career. Whew, yeah, that's a toughie. When it comes to career and self-doubt, and if you guys are newer to my channel, I've been working on being basically a self-made entrepreneur, building this online business for the past 3 years. And trust me, along the way, I have had plenty of self-doubt. And anytime I'm starting a new project, there's always that fear of failure, right? And I think what helps push me through is the community that's around me. It's really important to put good people around you, whether that be your husband, your parents, your friends, your family, whoever it may be. You always want to surround yourself with people that bring you up and who help light your fire instead of telling you, yeah, I don't know if that's gonna work, Chloe. Instead, I wanna bring people around me who are like, you know what? If you think it's gonna work, go for it. The best thing you can do is have people who are around you that just support you regardless. I'm actually in the midst of launching Curlfriend Collective. I will put it up here. Curlfriend Collective is going to be my silk accessories hairline, all made for curls. Normally the hair accessory market, I feel like, doesn't talk to people who have really thick or really long hair. So I really wanted to launch with something that really spoke to that. So that is gonna be coming up really soon. So if you are not already following Curlfriend Collective on Instagram, make sure that you do that so that you can keep up to date on any of the news that happens there. And also make sure that you're subscribed to my email list. I will put that down below as well, where you can like check what you're most interested in on the email list. And that way you get access to any deals. There are some deals that are going to be happening that are going to be exclusively available to the people on the email list first. So you're going to want to make sure that you're on that. Our next question is from Tammy Jade 13. After gel, my hair feels brittle and gross. Is it because I don't use a hair oil? It's not because of your hair oil. It probably means that you're using too much gel and not enough moisturizing ingredients. If you're not already using a curl cream or a leave-in, you need to make sure you're using that and then top it off with a light amount of gel and then see how it goes. Don't use too much product. Always start out with less, and then if you feel like you need more, add in more. Next question, becoming_Mrs. Barnes. How closely do you follow CGM? I don't. I do not follow CGM really at all anymore. I used to follow it quite closely back a handful of years ago. And over the years, I've just come to realize that following the very strict CGM method just really didn't work for me. Every head of curls is so different and wants so many different things. Your curl type, your porosity, your, how much damage have you done your curls, all those things add up and come to basically making your own routine. It just doesn't work. in my opinion. It might work great as a starter for you to have a gentle amount of guidance in learning your curly hair. If you follow a bunch of curly girls that are literally doing like what I do, like Ms. Bianca Renee, India Batson, Alyssa Marie, Hi Felicia, Curly Q Lou. I mean, there's a plethora and there's more that I could mention, but there are so many that are so helpful, and in my opinion, more helpful when it comes to actionable things than following the Curly Girl method. And on that note, let's talk a little bit about our sponsor, Skillshare. Skillshare is basically an online learning community made for creatives, people who are wanting to learn a specific kind of niche task, right? So you could be learning about marketing, you could be learning about crafting, you could be learning about photo editing. I love the photo editing and videography side. You can learn about productivity. You guys, the list is pretty much endless on the things that you can learn on there. If there's anything specific you're wanting to kind of hone in on, this is a great place to go. Personally, I've done some of the productivity courses, I've done some of the drone courses. And pro tip, if you're looking for a drone class, definitely try out the Cinematic Drone Masterclass. We used our drone when we were out in Utah, and oh my gosh, the footage that we got was so much fun. I'll show you some on the salt flats, the Bonneville salt flats. It was so cool. Oh my gosh. Like nothing like I've ever seen. It felt like I was like on the moon. And we wouldn't have been able to get that type of footage if we hadn't used our drone and had learned a little bit on how to do some of the things that we need to do and some of the post editing. The cool thing too is that everything is unlimited access. So if you are one of those people that likes to hop into different hobbies all the time, no worries, no problem. You can literally try anything and everything, and it's at no extra cost other than your monthly subscription. However, 1,000 of you guys are going to be getting a free month trial for you guys to try it out. Now, it's only going to the first 1,000 people, so make sure that you go down to the description. It's the very first link, so make sure you tap that, go ahead and enter in your information, and you're golden. Now that you've signed up for Skillshare, right? Okay, fantastic. So glad you did. We will get right back to the Q&A portion of this video. Ooh, okay, this is a really good question. So this comes from Roxana J. Pagan. How can a couple with different love languages make a relationship work? You know what's really funny is I think majority of people who are in relationships actually have different love languages. And if you haven't heard of the 5 love languages, there's a book, and I think you can also listen to it. I'll put it up here and I'll make sure to link it. I've actually read it, my husband's read it. It's a really good just overall relationship book on how you show love and also how you receive love. And how you show it is normally how you also want to receive it. For the most part, I think I'm more of a words of affirmation person, and Ryan, he is without a doubt acts of service. I also love touch, so like I'm also like a huggy person, and like I feel like I'm kind of like a little bit of both. So I will, you know, go and give him a hug, and I want to cuddle and all that, and that's how I show love. But for him, he does chores around the house, which like I love that, but in my head, I don't see that as him showing love. I see that as him doing chores. And so over the years, we've actually become really good at understanding that. But back in the day, we were not. So what I would recommend to you is just go get the book, talk to your significant other, and just be like, hey, you know what? I think we should read this. It's a real quick read. Read it on your own times. Come back to each other and talk about what you found out about yourselves, and then talk about how you guys can come together and show each other the love in the way that you perceive it. Next question we have is from Arifa93. Curl care, where to start? Perfect place to start is literally my new Curl Friends playlist, okay, over here on YouTube. I will link that down below. And up here, that is where I always put any of my really good meaty tutorials and tips. If you're looking for curly recommendations for products, if you're looking for step-by-step styling techniques, diffusing technique, all of that, that is the playlist where I keep that. So definitely check that out if you are on the start of your curl journey and you're not quite sure where to start with all of my content. That is a perfect place to start for you. Okay, next question we have from _Jacqueline Dawn. How do you keep yourself motivated to be productive? Productivity is a tough thing sometimes. And I feel like especially in the US, we're advertised almost in a way that we're supposed to be productive 24/7. And trust me, I fall victim to this all the time. My husband is always telling me to slow down, and it's a very hard thing for me because I'm like an Energizer bunny. I just like go, 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 go. If I don't feel inspired, I don't want to be productive. If I don't feel creative and inspired, then I feel like I just want to sit in my pajamas and, binge watch something on Netflix. I try to listen actually more internally to how I'm feeling. I'm going to be productive during those times where I'm just fiery. And then on other times, I'm just going to be like, okay, you know what? I'm not feeling it. That's okay. When I don't push myself to do it on the times that I don't really feel good about it, then I'm not burning my candle at both ends, and then I won't be doing good during those times where I do really feel like I can be productive and creative and inspired. So it allows me to be more productive by listening to myself better. Okay, the next question is from Pruitt_96. Budget-friendly products for seborrheic dermatitis. If you guys are newer here, you might not already know this. I do have seborrheic dermatitis. It has been a struggle since the time I was pretty much born, and I do have a full video discussing that in more detail. If you want to learn more about that, again, that's gonna be linked up here and down below. And the product I recommend in that video is Curlsmith's Wash and Scrub because it has done wonders, and I mean wonders for my scalp. However, she wants something that is budget friendly. Curlsmith does tend to be a little bit more expensive. It's in the $20 something range. So I'm gonna recommend something else too for you. It's called Nizoral, and I'll put a picture of it up here. It's really incredible. It actually has a lighter amount of the main ingredient that was in the one that was prescribed to me. This one has also done really well, but my recommendation to you, especially if you're curly and you get dried out really easily, make sure that you only add that to your scalp. Don't put it on the lengths of your hair because it'll really dry that out. Use a separate shampoo that's made for moisture and made for curls on your lengths, and then just put that on your scalp. Okay, the next question comes from CurlyTop07. How often do you get Botox, and is it worth it? I will be the first person to tell you I freaking love Botox, okay? I've been getting it for probably about 3 or 4 years now. You can see that I have movement, but not a ton. I get it about every 2 to 3 months. That is faster and more often than probably the average person. I metabolize it extremely fast. So keep that in mind. Normally, most people will do every 3 to 6 months, depending on how they metabolize. I get it actually through like here. I get it here to raise the eyebrows just ever so slightly. And this is definitely hereditary. It comes from my mom's side. Just very expressive foreheads. And I was getting lines, like permanent lines in my early 20s. Even in my teens, I had lines. And I was like, what is this? And so I would get lines through here, and that's where most of my expression would be. And I also have a tendency to squint a lot. And so I was starting to get lines through here as well. And then I get a little bit through here just for crow's feet. It's preventative for crow's feet. And then I also get 1 or 2 units right here by my nose. And that keeps, because I have a gummy smile, if you look really closely. So that actually keeps the lips from going up too far. It really doesn't change anything hugely on my face because I am so insanely expressive. So it just keeps those a little bit more at bay, okay? Okay, next question. Can heat damaged hair be fixed without cutting it? This comes from Susie12.19. Once the damage has been done, it can't necessarily be undone, but it can be helped. Get a bonding product, do a bonding treatment, okay? My favorite one is from Curlsmith. It came out a little over a year ago. It's incredible. Highly, highly recommend. If you haven't tried it, you should try it. And it just does an incredible job of helping to just smooth back down those broken and very fragile bonds. So it'll help strengthen, and it'll also help your curls curl up more. So try that before you try a cut and see how it goes. Gabby Brito 93, how to dry detangle curly hair. I'm gonna be honest, I don't recommend it. Your hair is in its strongest state when it is dry, and some people do like to dry brush and detangle. I've tried it. It was extremely difficult for me to do that. It took way longer. I would much rather gently detangle with my fingers and finger comb in the shower with a good deep conditioner going through it and start at those ends and then go up. Dry detangling is just, it's just not my preference, so I don't recommend it. Haiti Marie L. Rose, how can I fix my dry and frizzy top and crown area, this area, okay, when the inside is healthy? Many of us deal with this. I deal with this still. For me, it's almost coarser back there. That area tends to get frizzier faster. It's where we lay down. It's also where the sun is exposed to. I think it's just an area that just gets a lot more roughness than we realize. Make sure that you're concentrating a little bit of extra moisturizing product back there to make sure it stays really nice and moist. I would recommend at least trying to finger coil maybe some of those areas. And if you need to refresh, just re-finger coil some of those, re-wet them down, re-finger coil them, and then diffuse them a little bit, and that will help you a ton. Okay, next question. Can you slow motion finger curling? Every video goes so fast I can't figure it out. I will pop up right here a slow motion clip of me finger coiling, so you can see that right here, right now. If you haven't watched my full styling technique and my finger coiling videos, I will link those down below as well. We're gonna have a slew of videos and links for you guys down there to make sure that you guys are all supported in what you need. Gotta be the shoes. Gotta be the shoes. I love that. What blow dryer do you travel with? My Dyson. That's the main dryer I have used for the past probably year and a half, 2 years, and I love that thing to pieces. It does, what's nice is the, the diffuser part comes apart and it's actually pretty small, so I think it travels better than most dryers do personally. So that's the one I travel with. Lotus 383, winter curly hair routine they're looking for. I will definitely do a video on how to change your winter curly hair routine, and I also am gonna be doing a fall curly hair routine as well. So make sure to look out for that. Those are gonna be coming soon. So again, if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button right now. Teddy18, do I need protein if I never dyed my hair? Yes. Do you maybe need as much protein as somebody who has a lot of damage? Maybe not. Protein is a huge piece of what our hair is made of. So it's really important that you do bring in protein into your routine. I don't necessarily need a lot of protein in my hair care, so I like to add a light amount of protein, and you can use that Bond Curl. Anything that has a purple label from Curlsmith means that it has protein in it. Some of it has a light amount of protein in it. So it's actually really well balanced between protein and moisture. So try maybe including one of those type of products in your routine and see how it goes. So the next one is from Notoria Goob. Can you share your top favorite skincare, hair, and body care products? One of the body care lines that I have recently started using over the past month or two is from Verb. I'll bring it up here. Both of these are made for sensitive skin. So their body wash and their body lotion. The body lotion is fragrance free and the body wash is not fragrance free, but it's very, very, very light, and both are just so good for sensitive skin. So if you break out easily, I highly recommend trying those out. And then I like to add a little bit of their moringa oil in with the lotion for a little extra added hydration. And I do have a discount code, so I'll put that up here as well. I really love this from First Aid Beauty. It's so, so good. And you can use this on your body actually, and you can use it on your face. And they came out with one that is their, I think it's collagen based or something like that. And I really enjoyed that. They also have something called the KP Bump Eraser. So if you get those little red and white bumps on the back of your arm or even on the top of your arm, that KP Bump Eraser has saved me. It is so, so good. I also really love Drunk Elephant. There's some products from them that I just absolutely adore. Glow Recipe has some really bomb ones. Paula's Choice has some great ones. So the last question we're gonna go over today is, do you ever worry about your edges when wearing a bonnet? From Merengue_core. Yes, I do, but not too much. So when I'm wearing a bonnet, I will actually put it on backwards. So it'll go on over this way and all my hair mainly gets pushed off to the side and on top. My edges don't, I feel like, get affected too much. Maybe over here where like I'd sleep on my side a little bit. So maybe like these little sideburn curls, and then you just like re-wet them a little bit and you just like finesse them and you call it a day and they're fine. And I'll link my favorite bonnet too here in case you guys are interested in trying out a bonnet. But guys, that is today's video. I hope that this Q&A session gave you some good insight on some things that you had questions on too. Hopefully we can do a regular segment on this. I think this was really fun. So if you really enjoyed this, please tell me in the comments and let me know if you'd like me to do this more often, because I'd love to do this more often. This was really fun. Make sure you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button down below if you're new here, and I will talk to you guys next week. Thanks guys, bye.